where I'm no fun anymore. I am sorry. Sometimes it hurts so badly I must cry out loud. I am lonely. I am yours. You are mine. You are what you are. You make it hard. Remember what we've said and done and felt about.
Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm Erin Brinkert.
And I'm Tobin Brinkert.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA. So excited to have you with us on this already too warm Monday morning at the very tail end of July. It's July 30th, and today is Tobin's actual birthday.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh. And so I want to sing you happy birthday.
Hey.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tobin. Happy birthday to you.
Yay. And for those of you who don't believe me, but you will believe me, I got the Marilyn Monroe version earlier today. That's right. She can do that song, too. Same song, just different.
Happy birthday. That one?
Yes.
Which is excruciatingly annoying
Yes.
for, female listeners.
And she actually called me Mr. President. She really did. She really did.
I did not. So Tobin had a big party this weekend, and he's just living off of the fumes from the party.
This has been an amazing year, and I really took full advantage. I turned 50, and I took full advantage and made the whole year about me and my birthday, even though my two children tried to interject their little weddings in there. But no, it was the party that we had this weekend was fabulous, and I have been so blessed in my life to just be surrounded by amazing people, friends, family, in every aspect of my life, from early childhood all the way up to people that I've literally just met recently that were there and just, showered me with love and kindness, and we just had a great time. I don't know what else to say. And we did all of this here in Redlands at Ritual Brewing.
At Ritual Brewing. So got to give a shout out to Ritual Brewing.
Aaron and I have done events and gone to different places, and some places just make it so hard. Ritual made everything so easy. If you have a big event to do, they are a great location for big events. And what's funny is at the same time as my birthday party was going on, and we had about 100 people there for my birthday party, a local nonprofit was also having an event there. They were doing a cornhole tournament. And the guy who was in charge of organizing it is actually a high school friend of mine.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, and so I got out of my car, and he got out of his car at about the same time as we got there. We both kind of looked at each other, and he's like, "You're the birthday party, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he says, "Oh, we're having a tournament." I'm like, "Oh my God!" And I didn't know, but it worked out great. The two groups mingled well, and the place was packed.
The place was packed. Now, we brought in pizza. We bought Costco pizzas, which if you've never had Costco pizza, it's dynamite.
Yes, it is.
The only mistake that we made is I forgot how big they are, and so I bought what I would think are a normal amount of pizza for the amount of people that were coming to the party. We had 13 pizzas left over because they're so much bigger than your standard pizza.
Yes.
And we ended up dropping them off at a local nonprofit. But because obviously there's no way Tobin and I could eat 13 pizzas,
Yeah,
and
so
our freezer's just not that big.
So we dropped them off so that they wouldn't go to waste, and they were used to hopefully feed some homeless people who needed some food.
So it was the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
But what they let us bring, obviously they don't have food at the brewery, so we brought in outside food. We brought in pizza and Costco cake, and they gave us a room to set up in, and then we just kind of commandeered a bunch of tables, and our guests just bought whatever beer, or they also have ginger ale
and sodas
and root beer.
Yeah.
And then they have water too, and so I drank a lot of water. But it was just a great time. The only complaint is that it's hot.
Yeah. Well,
and they had big fans set up.
I chose to have my birthday, like I got a choice on that, in the middle of the summer.
Your parents chose to have your birthday
In the middle of the summer.
So, but that was, everybody had a blast, and that was fine. And you know, what's interesting is that, you know, we have friends that are in different parts of our lives, like most of you, like most people. They have, you know, their friends that are from work, or friends are from high school, or friends that are from college, and all these people came together and mixed together just great. It was a lot of fun.
It really was.
And we raised money for the Inland Empire Children's Book Project.
Yeah, so we did a little, you know how everyone does this thing online now where they have, like, next to their happy birthday wish, they want you to donate to a charity. I didn't do that, but we actually did a little thing at the party and raised a couple $100 for the Inland Empire Children's Book Project. I feel really good about that.
I do too. So we're going to go deposit that in the book project bank account today, and which is, you know, the Inland Empire Children's Book Project. We haven't talked about it on the air for a while. We are a 100% volunteer organization. All we do is collect, sort, and distribute books to kids in the San Bernardino City Unified and Rialto Unified School District. And what's unique about what we do is the kids don't come in and pick their books, because let's face it, if you've got a choice of books and one of them's got a Disney character on it and one of them's got a plain cover, regardless of what's in between, the kids are going to choose the Disney, right? Yep. Their teachers come in, and I'm doing air quotes, shop for the books that are developmentally and, you know, academically the right level for their students, and also in subject matter that their students might like. So the teachers shop, and then the teachers give the books to the kids, and the kids get to take those books home and keep they're theirs.
And the reason Aaron put shop in air quotes is because the teachers don't pay anything. Nobody pays anything. And the money that we raised for my birthday, that when we get monetary donations, we use that to buy new books.
Right.
And we have a lot of gently used books that people have donated. We are always doing book drives and things like that to get books that way. But you also want to have a mix of new books in there.
Sure.
And so that's what the cash is used for. And we have some great vendors who give us some really good deals on buying those books.
So we go to First Book, and First Book, they have discounted prices, and sometimes, you know, depending on the title and how many they have, because they're, you know, we've tried to buy huge quantities from First Book before. They don't necessarily have the quantities that we want, so we'll buy a little bit here and a little bit there. But they have really good prices, usually about half what we'd spend at Amazon. Yeah. Now, what we can't find at First Book, we purchased at Amazon, because we want to support them too. Amazon gave $5,000 to the Inland Empire Children's Book Project last winter. Yeah. And so we want to make sure that we give them business back.
Exactly. So anyways, it's kind of a passion project. Aaron and I are both on the board. And
we're all volunteers.
We're all volunteers.
We have no staff.
No.
We have, you know, we get free space. Thank you, San Bernardino City Unified School District. At Jones Elementary School. We have 2 classrooms, and so we have been, you know, people want to help. People want kids to read, and so it's just the board is a wonderful group of people. Bernice and Barry Lowenstein, Susan Scheimoff, Art and Eileen Gallardo, and they've just resigned the board because they moved to the beach. He retired. But we're still keeping them in the loop. Rabbi Hillel Cohn, Shab Elawar. It's a great board.
It really is, and the volunteers that show up are amazing. So I just to have my birthday be a little piece of that, and just going to be able to give back to the board. I mean, to the book project was just really nice.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to I want to talk about this new San Bernardino burger joint that is in the San Bernardino Sun.
Okay. So
Rogers Burgers, Real Wood Grilled. I'm not a huge burger fan, but I totally want to go and check it out. So this is in the San Bernardino Sun from the 27th. So walk into Rogers Burgers around noon and see patrons file through the door by the dozens. Some peruse a laminated menu, scanning options such as patty melts, pastrami sandwiches, and grilled chicken salads. Others walk straight to the counter, their orders already committed to memory. At North D and West 6th Streets, Rogers Burgers, the second California location, is situated near downtown San Bernardino, where tens of thousands of city, state, and federal employees mine for cheap eats come noon on a weekday. We're glad to be here, says Roger Guiden, the restaurant's namesake and founding partner. We're meeting new people and new friends. We're giving San Bernardino people a chance to work and make money. We're introducing people to a pretty good burger, I hope. So we're going to have to go check it out.
Yeah.
On a recent Thursday, an auto glass installer was enjoying the namesake burger, medium rare, while reading a book on his phone. In the 2 weeks San Bernardino's newest burger joint has been open, the 63-year-old has grabbed a bite there 6 times. This place is killer, he says.
Right.
About a year ago, entrepreneur Alex Nahorayan purchased the land that would become his second Rogers location. Already realizing success with Rogers Burgers in Burbank, the foodie invested about $1 million to get the San Bernardino spot up and running, remodeling what was previously a Mexican restaurant. He founded Rogers with Gaiden about 3 years ago and chose to keep the North D Street location open 24 hours. As many as 40 San Bernardino residents were hired to satisfy breakfast, lunch, and dinner demand. So we have to go check it out.
We do. And I keep thinking back to a couple years ago when we did that Burger Week extravaganza, and I got to go travel around and eat different burgers every day.
Oh, yeah.
And I gained like 50 pounds.
You did not.
But I was smiling all the time because I got to eat 1 million delicious burgers.
So I want to give you one more reason why you want to go check out this burger joint.
Okay.
Rogers Burgers works to satisfy more than local appetites. The company helps meet other needs as well, donating money to local charities every month. Option House, a San Bernardino nonprofit assisting domestic violence victims and their families, was the area's first recipient.
Wow, I love that.
So they're hiring our people. They invested in our city, and they're giving back. Everybody needs to go buy a burger. They're on 6th and D Street. It's Rogers Burgers. They have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, open 24 hours. Go check them out.
A business with a social conscience.
Right?
I love it.
Right? So we have to make sure that we keep them chugging.
Right.
So with that, let's take a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we'll be right back.
If you're looking for a full or part-time sales position and you have radio, TV, or print media experience, KCAA has a great opportunity waiting for you that pays the highest commissions in the market. KCAA is the only station in the IE that broadcasts on 3 frequencies, so advertisers receive 3 ads for 1 low rate. This makes KCAA a must-buy for every local business. If you're interested in a sales position with us, email ceo@kcaaradio.com. The Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands is serving up some really cool ice cream at La Micho Acana. Then get your chocolates and other delights from C's Candies. Moms and future moms who visit the mall can cool off and relax while they get treated like royalty at Shiny Nails or Francis Nails and then pampered at Texture Hair. The Tri-City Center is filled with retailers who care about you. Shop at the Tri-City Center in Redlands and see why they call it the Mall with a Heart. For several years, KCAA has been marketing the Youngevity brand of nutritional and personal care products. Our experience with Youngevity has been 100% positive, so we are pleased to recommend them to you. Regarding nutritional supplements, we recommend Pollen Burst in the berry flavor and Tangy Tangerine 2.0 in the tablet form. For regularity issues, we recommend 3-Day Cleanse, and for personal care, we recommend Morning Hydration Cream. You can shop online for Youngevity at www.kcaateam.com, or you can order by phone by calling 800-982-3197 and tell customer support that you are part of the KCAA team. Youngevity is an American company based in San Diego. Call Youngevity at 800-982-3197 and ask about monthly auto ship that allows you to buy Youngevity products at wholesale prices. That number again, 800-982-3197.
Hi, everybody. Ray Lucia here with some important information about debt, your debt. Whether you have a first or second mortgage, you're looking to buy or refi a home or rental property, or just need to consolidate your credit cards to lower your payments and save some serious interest, you need to do some loan financial planning with Steve Aladort, my mortgage man, at loanfinancialplanner.com. Now, Steve's not your garden variety mortgage broker. He actually spends time evaluating how you can use the current super competitive interest rates to pay off your mortgage early, purchase a rental property, improve your cash flow, upgrade to your dream home, or even help your kids or grandkids get into a house. That's what loan financial planning is all about. Steve's been helping me and my listeners for over 2 decades, and I can tell you he is the best finance guy in the business. Go to loanfinancialplanner.com. That's loanfinancialplanner.com. Or call Steve Alladort at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070.
KCAA.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. So, Tobin, you pick the next one.
You want me to pick the next one?
It's your birthday. You get to pick.
It is my birthday. So I read this story. It's kind of amazing about a scam that occurred at McDonald's a while ago. And the title is How an Ex-Cop Rigged McDonald's Monopoly Game and Stole Millions.
So
now,
this was in the 90s, wasn't it?
It was in the 90s. And I used to love the McDonald's Monopoly game. But apparently this guy was scamming it so that all of the big prizes were going to people that he selected, and he was getting kickbacks, right? So like you get and the way the game is designed, you might remember this. Like I'll use the railroads because that's the easy one. So there's 4 railroads on a Monopoly board, and you can almost always get all 3 of them. You get the first 3,
right? And
then the 4th one, they'd like print one of that one. Now. This guy, his name is Jerome Jacobson, and he basically was the head of security for the marketing company that was in charge of the promotion, and he oversaw the production and the delivery of the winning tickets. And they had all these safety things in their system, and he was never traveled alone when he had the winning tickets with him, and he would take them out to certain local areas where they would then be put into their distribution part, so it would end up in that area where the winner would be. But somewhere along the line, he got a copy of the embossed blanks, and he was able to switch out the winning ones for non-winning ones. And the way he would do that is he would go into like a airport bathroom, and the person that traveled with him was a woman, and she couldn't go into the men's room. And so while he was in the men's room, he would take out the $1 million winner ticket and switch it out with one of these blanks that would then be put on a cup somewhere. And then he would have the winner, and he would then sort of randomly choose people to collect the winnings.
So he took the little game pieces with him into the bathroom?
Yeah, he had them in an envelope, like a special envelope. It
was attached to him somehow?
Well, he had a vest, right? They had what they called a security vest, and this was the way of traveling with them so that no one would know he had them, right? So he didn't have like the big briefcase with the lock and the key and all,
With a secret bumper sticker along the outside?
No, they did not have the secret bumper sticker. But anyway, he sort of randomly met people who had financial problems, and then he would offer them a deal. He'd say, I can get you a winning ticket, and you just have to give me a kickback, give me some of the money, right? And so he began doing this, and no one caught on. And he kept doing it and kept doing it, and he kept involving other people. And I guess it kind of went big time when he, in an airport once, he meets this guy who is actually a mobster. It's a guy on the way to Atlantic City. He's got a ton of cash on him, and they struck up a friendship. And this mobster then begins essentially laundering this stuff and getting these tickets out to a variety of different people.
Wow.
And really sort of, made sure that it was sort of undetectable. And these people who would win, they would, plant them around the country,
so that people would, it wasn't like everybody in New Jersey was winning. It was, they had to be everywhere.
But what's interesting is that all these people were from the same basic area, but they would go and plant them out somewhere for a little bit and sort of make it look like they'd been there for a while. They would get their winnings, and then they would go back to Jersey or wherever it was they were from.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
Wow.
And so this went on, and then finally, one of the people that was part of this scam got kind of, I don't know how to say this, got kind of ticked off at somebody along the way and decided to rat them out. And so they anonymously contacted McDonald's, which then brought in the FBI.
They called it a McSting.
Right? And the McSting began. And in order for the FBI to catch these guys, because it was a very sort of diffuse network, it wasn't like normally when you have a scam, there's like a hierarchy of people involved. But because this guy just sort of randomly chose people, it made it kind of hard to connect all the dots, right? But they were slowly able to do it. And they actually had to get McDonald's to continue the the Monopoly game.
So I remember when it was extended,
Yes.
and everybody thought, "Wow, this is great! The contest is extended," because there were people who went crazy for this contest.
Yes, so they had to continue it a little bit in order to wrap up the thing, and so when they finally busted all these people, they had like you know how the FBI likes to do it. They arrested them all on the same day, and one of the guys got arrested literally with the camera in his face, and the camera was being held by an FBI agent as they were presenting him the big check, right? And then they put the handcuffs on him.
Wow.
And were able to lock all these people up and get them to sort of turn on each other, and they caught this guy. Jerome Jacobson, and they called him Uncle Jerry, and he was a guy who had started off his career as a young man as a police officer, but like after a year or two on the job, he got injured and couldn't be a cop anymore, and then he went into private security, and he started off with this auditing firm and then worked his way up and eventually ended up with this marketing firm. He kind of got snagged away, and they had the big multi-million-dollar McDonald's promotion, and everyone thought this guy was like totally on the up and up. Like, he was hard on everybody else, checking people's shoes to make sure they weren't slipping little, game pieces out of the store in their shoes. Now, he did a couple really fascinating things to sort of cover himself. Early on in this scam, he took one of the $1 million winners and he anonymously sent it to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, right? So when they did all their research on all these various winners, one of them was St. Jude's, right? Now, everybody else who got caught in the scam had to pay back their millions. But guess what McDonald's said to St. Jude's?
Keep the money.
Keep the money. Because they'd use it to buy emergency medical equipment for children, right?
Children with cancer and other really horrible diseases.
Yeah. So McDonald's said, no, you keep it. But
and they weren't in on the they weren't in on the scam.
They were not in on it at all. But this guy, Uncle Jerry, thought that this would get him some goodwill, right? That they would be less, if he got caught, that they wouldn't be as hard on him because of that. Secondarily, he also uncovered, while he was doing his own scam, that the McDonald's Corporation had made a conscious decision to work out their algorithms so that there would never be a big prize winner in Canada. It would not happen.
So they were scamming Canada.
They were
McDonald's was scamming Canada.
Canadians who were buying the McDonald's food and thinking they were going to win the big prizes never had a chance at winning because of the way the thing was set up. And Uncle Jerry had emails from executives showing that they had done that.
Wow.
And so he thought he could flip the bigger fish, right, and get off the hook. Neither of those things worked for him. Now, one thing he did get lucky in was that just as his trial was beginning, a horrible tragedy happened here in America. It was the September 11th attack. And so what normally would have been, I'm sure, a major media sensation ends up being completely washed off the front page because of the terrorist attacks and all the things that happened after September 11th. And so that's why most people, I think, are unaware of this story. Right?
I have a vague recollection that there was a fraud there.
Yeah.
But and it was like when you mentioned it, it was kind of just tickling the back of my mind. I didn't remember any details or anything.
So it was like 50 people over like a 15-year period. And apparently they would do the game twice a year. And this was the most successful promotion that McDonald's ever did. Every time they did the Monopoly game, sales would go up like 20-30%. Right?
Wow.
Because people were rushing in to buy stuff.
Because they wanted that $1 million. And all the free stuff, too. I mean, the most common thing to get was like a free small fry or a free small drink or whatever.
Yep.
And so people always want free food.
Yeah, exactly.
But you could also win like a Sega, and I don't know if it was a Dreamcast or Sega something.
Yeah.
Whatever Sega system was out at the time. I guess it wouldn't have been Dreamcast. That would have been later. Or they had other things that you could win that were kind of cool prizes.
But it was fascinating to me is how he got people involved in this. One time he met a Mormon guy who was down on his luck. He had invested a bunch of money in a big property development thing that had fallen through, and he got this guy to start cashing tickets for him as well. And he just would find people like that, people that were a little bit down on their luck who needed something, and then he would convince them, here, you cash this ticket, and then you give me a certain amount back. And in the end, he got really greedy, and this is also what got him caught. In the beginning, he would only, like for $1 million ticket, he would only get like $40,000 kickback. But at the end, he was asking for like $100,000. And this ended up causing problems because some of these winners, as we've seen oftentimes with lotteries, is they overspend.
Yeah.
And so he had a couple people who were supposed to give him a bunch of money, but they'd also promised other people money, and they wouldn't pay. And then, you got all these other issues.
Because you think, well, and after Uncle Sam takes his cut, there's not anywhere near $1 million. And people, they think $1 million is this unfathomable, huge amount of money, even, 20 years ago.
Heck yeah.
And it's not. I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's not, it doesn't take you as far as you think it will.
Yeah. Well, for me now, when I see these kinds of games, I'm now looking at them kind of skeptically. I'm like, wow, I wonder if it's really real or if it's just another Uncle Jerry rigged program.
Jerry rigged, and his name is Uncle
Right,
Jerry.
I know.
That's pretty funny.
Anyway.
Wow. So, what's interesting is that McDonald's hasn't done this promotion since then, have they?
They changed it up. They were doing, instead of Monopoly, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. They switched it, so it was the same kind of tickets, but Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And they've changed the way that they operate so that they've got safeguards so you can't have
and
this
people
kind
in
of thing.
Canada might be able to win?
Maybe. Oh, by the way, so there was a class action lawsuit from Canada about this. It went nowhere. But they tried to sue and say they were being ripped off, but no.
Well, I mean, it's cheating. It's not good. I mean, you're selling somebody a chance to win. And in all reality, you think about the number of people in the United States versus Canada, and if it truly were random, the likelihood is that it would probably go to the United States, the winning ticket. But you can't cheat them out of winnings, out of a chance to win, especially if that's what you're advertising.
Yeah.
So very, very interesting. Well, with that, let's take a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we'll be right back.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292FQ Riverside, and K293CF Moreno Valley.
NBC News Radio, I'm Lisa Carter. It's possible that President Trump might soon reach an agreement to meet with special counsel Robert Mueller. On CBS's Face the Nation, attorney Rudy Giuliani said a meeting could happen this week or next. He said Trump would be open to answering a few questions about the Russia probe and possibly the claims of obstruction. 2 more deaths confirmed in the biggest wildfire in California. The car fire near Redding has now killed at least 6 people.
Officials say about 7 people are still reported missing. More than 1,000 structures have been damaged or destroyed across this region. 5,000 remain under threat this morning.
NBC's Miguel Almaguer. A smoking ban both in and outside public housing buildings in New York City begins today. The housing authority is enforcing a smoke-free mandate passed down by the U.S. Housing and Urban Development Department. No cigarettes, cigars, pipes, or hookahs can be smoked inside apartments or within 25 feet of housing authority buildings. Lisa Carter, NBC News Radio.
It's time for traffic on KCAA. I'm Erin Brinker. They still have those closures in the mountains where up in Idlewild, where the fire has been burning. There's closures on the 243, the 74, 243 and the 74 throughout that mountain area. So Banning, Hemet, and Mountain Center. In Ontario, on the 60 eastbound at the 15, a stalled car is in the left lane of the connector to the 15 north. In Ontario, on the 15 southbound after the 10, it crashes along the right shoulder. Slow traffic is backed up from 4th Street. And in Riverside, on the 215 northbound before Martin Luther King Boulevard, it crashes now along the right shoulder. Slow traffic is backed up from Alessandro Boulevard. The 60 west is busy between Day Street and the 215. This has been your traffic on KCAA. We are the stations that leave no listener behind. I'm Erin Brinker.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Alvin Washington. This morning, sunny and hot, a high of 99. This evening, partly cloudy, warm, low 73. Sunny and scorching hot Tuesday, high of 100, clear, warm Tuesday night. I'm Alvin Washington, broadcasting live from the Tri-City Center at the 10 and 210 freeways. We are the trifecta of talk in Southern California, KCAA, 102.3 FM, Riverside, 106.5 FM, Redlands, and The Legacy, 1050 AM, Loma Linda, San Bernardino.
Look around your office. Is it time to change things up, start a new home office, or reorganize your professional office space? Visit Office Furniture Outlet in Corona, and you'll feel great. With a huge inventory of both new and pre-owned office furniture, you can buy, sell, or even trade to get the job done. Office Furniture Outlet in Corona will get you looking and feeling good, and that simply means success and great business results. From executive office collections to home office options, you can find exactly what you need at an affordable price. Office Furniture Outlet. They have desk selections that range from modern and contemporary to traditional and elegant. With a large selection of sizes, finishes, and styles, you can design an office just the way you need it. An office you can be proud of. The Office Furniture Outlet in Corona is just south of the 91 freeway in McKinley at 284 DuPont Street, or visit ofousa.com. That's ofousa.com for the Office Furniture Outlet in Corona today.
It's time to shop in the cool, relaxed comfort of the Tri-City Shopping Center in Redlands, conveniently located on the I-10 freeway between the Alabama and Tennessee exits. Bring the kids too and watch them play in the only indoor fun center, High Five Indoor Playground, where parents are welcomed on the playground. Birthday celebrations are encouraged, so make plans for some great fun at the mall. More reasons why the Tri-City Center is called the Mall with a Heart.
Are you or a loved one suffering from an addiction? If so, help is available. Many people are getting help from a recovery center called Sheer Recovery. You can call Sheer Recovery now at 888-SHEER-51. That's 888-743-3751. If you have insurance, your treatment may be covered at little to no cost. Most importantly, you can't lose your job because you decide to get help. Sheer Recovery is staffed with professionals who understand addictions and how to treat addictions. They understand what an addicted person goes through every day. So if you or a loved one are suffering from an addiction, it's time to call Sheer Recovery at 888-SHEER-51. That's 888-743-3751. A better life begins with Sheer Recovery. Call 888-743-3751 or go online at www.sheerrecovery.com.
Drivers, when it's time to visit the DMV, avoid the long lines and save time by calling toll-free 833-DMV-LINE. That's 833-DMV-5463.
This is KCAA.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. So there's a story that has got the internet abuzz. Apparently there was a cruise ship that was all the way up in Svalbard, which is this archipelago that is north of Norway. So it's between Norway and the North Pole. And polar bears live on this archipelago. Now, this
really?
is a place, I actually know somebody who used to work up there. And he talked about what it was like up there. It was illegal to be homeless there. And everybody had to carry a firearm. It was required.
Yeah.
Because polar bears see human beings as food. Now, that was, I mean, there's lots of cold places where there are homeless people, so that wasn't because it's cold, but it is cold up there.
Yeah.
It's because polar bears see humans as food, and they will eat humans.
Yes.
So there was a cruise ship, and as they were disembarking, a polar bear attacked one of the employees of the cruise ship, and another employee shot the bear dead. And, you know, the people are losing their minds over that. How could you kill the bear? It's their territory, not ours, you know, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, what is wrong with you people? They were attacking, the bear was attacking a human being.
Yes.
It was going to eat a human being.
Yes.
And you're rooting for the bear?
Yeah, it makes no sense, right?
So Norwegian authorities said a polar bear on Saturday attacked and injured a polar bear guard who was leading tourists off a cruise ship on on an Arctic archipelago. The polar bear was shot dead by another employee. The Joint Rescue Coordination for Northern Norway tweeted that the attack occurred when the tourists from the MS Bremen cruise ship landed on the most northern island of the Svalbard archipelago, a region between mainland Norway and the North Pole. It's beautiful up there, by the way. The German Hapag-Lloyd Cruises Company, which operates the MS Bremen, told the AP that 2 polar bear guards from their ship went on the island, and one of them was attacked by a polar bear and injured on his head. The polar bear was shot dead in an act of self-defense. The injured man was taken by helicopter to the town of Longyearbyen on the Spitsbergen Island, and that's actually where my friend worked. He was not identified, and no further information was given on him. He was flown out, was responsive, and is currently undergoing medical treatment. The spokesperson said that all cruise ships traveling in the northern region are obliged to have polar bear guards aboard. Arctic tourism in the region has risen sharply in the last few years and is now in high season. The Longyearbyen port, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, port schedule showed that 18 cruise ships will be docking at the Arctic port next week.
Wow. And the bears, the polar bears, they don't have a clue, right? I mean, they just see these people, like you said, as prey, and so they're doing what they do. But the tourist companies are taking measures to protect their people. They're sending guards with them, and the guards are also doing what they're supposed to do. It's really kill or be killed in this environment.
It is, and it's an area where they require you to have a firearm.
Yes.
You have to have a firearm if you live on this island.
Now, watch what will happen. You watch that they will now close this area off for tourism. They'll say, wait, this is, especially if you have another attack or another polar bear getting killed, people are going to say, okay, it's not safe. We shouldn't have people up there in the first place, right? But this is one of those interesting stories. Now, I think I shared with you, I watched a video the other day where a woman actually fell into a polar bear enclosure at a zoo somewhere, and the polar bears were attacking her.
Because that's what polar bears do.
Yeah. And for me, what was so shocking on watching the video was the size. The woman looked so tiny next to these giant polar bears. They are massive, massive animals. And this woman was mauled, but they were able to pull her out. But it was quite violent. I mean, it was, and she landed in the water portion of the enclosure, and so these polar bears were swimming out to her, and they would pull her under for a little bit, and they were able to sort of scare the polar bears back a little bit so they could get her out. But it was not good.
No.
Not good.
It's interesting because I actually posted, one of the major news sources had put this story out, and I posted in the comments on Facebook that, a human life is worth more than a bear.
Yeah.
Bears see humans as food. This is basically that's what had to happen.
Yeah.
And I got angry faces. It's like, you're sitting... People who are 1,000 miles from wherever this happened, trying to make judgments.
Yeah.
Because and I know that I'm a long way too, but I know a person who lived up there,
yeah.
and he told me what life is like up there. It's you have to watch out for polar bears.
And you and I are animal lovers. We own lots of animals, and
we have a house full of rescue pets.
We've had zoo memberships throughout our lives, and we believe in properly caring for and loving on animals and treating them right. But when push comes to shove, when a human life is at risk, that's a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
I don't. There's no pause. There's no, oh my God, this is an ethical situation. What do I do? Do I save the human? Do I save the animal? No, I don't have any qualms. You shoot the animal. Human life comes first.
Human life comes first. Period.
Period. Yeah.
So, it'll be interesting to see. I wonder if the cruise ships then won't let people off. They'll pull up to these beautiful ports,
yeah.
But they're not going to let people off the ship. We'll see if something like that happens.
Yeah.
And our thoughts and prayers go out to the person who was attacked and the person who had to shoot the bear, because that was traumatic for both of them.
Yeah. Now, if we find out later that the person who shot the bear is now having it stuffed and mounted and put at their home, that's a different story, Aaron.
Actually, he's allowed to do that. He killed the bear.
Right?
It's his kill.
His kill. That's funny. That's funny.
So for a different kind of hunting, this story, I absolutely love this story. It's from WFLA.com. A homeless man hands out resumes instead of asking for money, and he gets hundreds of job offers.
I saw this story too, and it's really fascinating to me because, he got the attention because it is so unique, but then you wonder, why is it so unique? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why aren't more people that are in that situation doing something similar? But I love this guy. He's a young guy. His name is David Casares, and he's up in the Silicon Valley, and he was a web designer. And he tried to start his own company, and they ran out of funding, and then his van got repossessed, and he found himself sleeping on a park bench, and finally just got so frustrated and fed up that he decided he would just put on his best suit, made up his little sign, right, and had his resumes put up, and his sign says, "Homeless, hungry for success, take a resume."
Isn't that awesome?
It's awesome. And then what really made it bounce for him is that the person who drove by took a picture of him, took a picture of the resume, and then put it all the way out there on social media, and that's when the responses came flooding in. And this guy has been offered jobs by like all the big companies, Aaron, all the big companies, Google,
Netflix,
LinkedIn, yeah, all the biggies. And so I want to get the follow-up story, right? Who's he working for, and how's that changing his life,
Yeah, I just, more power to him. Because here's the thing. So many businesses, especially in the tech world, but, or even restaurants, even just businesses in general, so many businesses fail that anybody can find themselves in this situation.
Yeah.
Even if they've had lots of money, they could have a big failure. And this kid dusted himself off, put himself out there, and he's going to get himself back on his feet.
When I was on the San Bernardino City Council, it was one of the parades that they did every year, and I was in the back of a truck being driven down the street, and a guy on the side was waving to me, and he's, Mr. Councilman, Mr. Councilman, and he begins to walk along the side of the parade as the truck is moving, and shouting out to me that he's out of work, he's homeless, and he needs help. And I said, wait here, I will come back to you when the parade is over. And I did, and he and I had a very interesting conversation. And he was one of those people who was displaced. The word homeless doesn't really fit because he hadn't been homeless for a long time. He'd only been homeless for a short period of time. He was staying in a men's shelter, but it was just like this guy's story. He'd fallen on hard times. He'd lost his job, lost his apartment, and he just needed to get his foot back on that ladder. He needed somebody to help him, and so I had him come down. This was like on the weekend. So on the Monday, I said, come down to my office. It's right down the street from where the parade was, and talk to my staff. We're going to hook you up with some programs. And they did. And I didn't actually see him because I have a day job. I'm a teacher. He came in, talked to my staff. They hooked him up with some folks. And about a year later, I was in a McDonald's in San Marino, and this guy comes walking up, same guy. Mr. Brinker, I'm so glad to see you. I've been wanting to thank you. Gave me a big handshake. He'd gotten hired as a security guard at a company just down the street, still in downtown San Bernardino, was back on his feet,
Had a place to live?
Had a place to live. He was doing so much better. And he wants to thank me. And I said, you're welcome or whatever, but I didn't feel like I had done that much. All I had done was basically giving him my card, taking a moment to listen to him, and then directed him to my staff, who really did the hard work and really helped to hook him up with the program.
And he got himself hired,
and
right? Because he had to go through the interview. He had to put on his interview clothes and get over there and make a good impression.
But what was fascinating to me was that he wasn't willing to just sort of sit there and be sad, like, oh, I'm homeless. Is that he saw someone who he thought could help him, and yelled at me in a parade to get my attention. He took some action.
He did.
That then led to something. And that's what it takes. You have to have that initiative.
So I hope this young man finds an awesome job,
right.
David Caceres, and as a web designer in the Silicon Valley.
Awesome.
So with that, let's take a break. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we will be right back.
Are you having trouble sleeping? Are you always tired and worn out? Is it affecting your work and personal life? Well, South Pacific Sleep Lab can help you out. South Pacific Sleep Lab provides a personal study of your sleep patterns. With their trained specialists, they will diagnose your sleep habits and will give you a prognosis for getting a great relaxing night of sleep. South Pacific Sleep Lab has locations throughout Southern California, including Fontana, and will provide transportation to any of their locations at no cost to you. To find out more, give them a call at 844-SAD-5050. That's 844-SAD-5050. South Pacific Sleep Lab. Start resting easy and sleeping sound today.
If you're suffering from aches and pains, it's time to try Arbo Vitae Health and Wellness Dietary Supplement. Arbo Vitae contains pycnogenol, the most powerful, natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant available, which is nature's way to support the immune system. Let Arbo Vitae help your body restore itself today. To order Arbo Vitae online, go to ARBORVITAEUS.com. To order by phone, call 800-570-0433. That number again, 800-570-0433. Arbo Vitae is proud to sponsor Fish Talk Radio. Check out the show on Facebook or visit the Fish Talk website at fishtalkradio.com. The first caller will receive a 30-day supply of Arbo Vitae with no obligation, so call now, 800-570-0433.
Whether you swing a hickory shaft Massey Niblick or the latest titanium hybrid, golf is your game, and the Boy Scouts need you. To be specific, the California Inland Empire Council of the Boy Scouts of America need your help in joining them for their 10th annual Golf Classic at Los Sureños Golf Club in Chino Hills on Friday, August 10th. A continental breakfast and a lunch are included, and we tee off at 7:45 a.m. Proceeds will help to offer young people responsible fun and adventure.
This is Dick from Carpet Masters. Carpet Masters has been serving the Inland Empire for over 55 years. Carpet Masters uses extraction cleaning for your carpet because there's no better cleaning to remove the soil from your carpet. All of our furniture cleaning is done by hand in your home or in our plant. Carpet Masters also offers dry cleaning for fine furniture. Call Carpet Masters at 793-7215. That's 793-7215 for Carpet Masters.
KCAA, where every day is a great day. Listen to KCAA Loma Linda for less confrontation and more information.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on The Brink, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. So a pharmacist, there's cases recently of pharmacists denying filling prescriptions because of religious and other moral grounds. And so there's this national discussion, national conversation that's happening that basically says, is that possible? Is that doable? Can you deny somebody filling a prescription given by an actual doctor because you're against whatever it is they're doing? So there's an article on NBCnews.com. Can a pharmacist legally deny a patient a prescription? And, it depends. So Shannon Costner was 32 years old, just out of graduate school and about to start a new job when an unexpected turn of events at her local pharmacy transformed her from a customer into a patient advocate. She wanted to refill a birth control prescription in her hometown of Albuquerque, New Mexico. She'd been on birth control since her late teens and didn't expect to encounter any problems. But the Walgreens pharmacist refused to fill her prescription due to his religious beliefs. I was shocked and emotional because it's quite frightening to think that someone has the power to take your legally prescribed medication and not give it to you. It's really frightening that someone who has no knowledge of the situation can just decide, I don't want to do this, and they're making a judgment based on no information. The incident happened in June 2012 when she had been married to her high school sweetheart for 5 years. The couple were waiting to have kids, especially given that Costner had completed her degree in mental health counseling, had just done that, and was just about to begin a career as an advisor and social worker at a nearby community college. She ended up getting the prescription filled at another pharmacy. Mm-hmm. But she did file a complaint through the American Civil Liberties Union alleging sex discrimination, and Walgreens ultimately agreed to a company-wide policy so customers would get prescriptions in a timely manner, even if pharmacists had personal objections to the medication. But the case highlighted a gray area that many patients have no idea even exists when they go to pick up a prescription. And in the past month, 2 similar instances have come to light, both out of Arizona. In the first, a woman who was having a miscarriage was denied a pregnancy-terminating drug at a Walgreens in Peoria. In the second, a transgender woman was denied hormones. Her doctor had prescribed her by a CVS in Fountain Hills. After Nicole Arteaga, the Peoria woman, was denied a prescription, Walgreens said in a statement that it has a policy that allows pharmacists to step away from filling a prescription for which they have a moral objection.
Yep. Here's the thing. As long as there is other reasonable ways for you to get your prescription filled, I think that their policy is probably the most humane policy possible. And the woman who you started this article off with, she's going to be a social worker. And so I'm thinking in my mind, what if she ever had a person who she was assigned to as a social worker that she felt that this person was not safe for her to be around, right? Like this person could be violent or could do something to harm her, or is engaging in behavior, stalking or threatening behavior. Would she feel she has a right to pass that client on to a different social worker, a male social worker who might be more adept at handling that. You know, I mean, I think we all have sometimes situations in our jobs where there are things that we don't feel are safe for us or capable, you know, and you might want to hand it off to somebody else. And I really view that's what this policy is. It's saying this pharmacist won't do it, but they'll hand it off to somebody who will. You know?
But it might require that patient to go to another Walgreens or a CVS or something else.
And I don't believe that's a horrible thing.
So
I mean, it's inconvenient, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mute my phone this morning. I don't know if you could hear that ding.
There it goes again.
Dang. So I just did that right now. Here's the thing. I think that the corporations, each corporation has a policy, right?
Yep.
And so if you're a pharmacist working for a company like CVS or Walgreens or Rite Aid or whomever, that you have to follow, you agree to follow their policies, right? If you're an independent pharmacist, then you can set your own policies. And I do, if a pharmacist doesn't carry RU 486, for example, should they be shut down or be forced to carry it? No, I don't think so. But I think they need to be upfront about it. It needs to be posted. It needs to be, people need to know that instead of waiting in line and to pick up a prescription, and you get it to the end of the line or the front of the line, and you find out that that you can't get it. Now you have to go somewhere. Oh my gosh! Right. So there needs to be clear communication on the part of the pharmacist.
Yeah. Now it's interesting. This is a case because the pharmacist is simply saying, "I'm not going to do that." But what if the pharmacist had said, "Oh, we don't carry that medicine." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or we're out of that right now.
Well, that happens.
You still would have had to go someplace else. And instead of having this big legal thing, oh my God, I'm so offended, you would have just went, okay, well, they're out, or I have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but some people would still be upset. But you and I have both been, over the course of our lives, they get put on an antibiotic or whatever that they don't have at that pharmacy because they ran out, and you have to wait or go. They'll send you somewhere else, and it's happened. It happens. That sort of thing occurs.
Or the other thing that's occurred on a couple occasions is where the doctor prescribes you a particular type of medicine, and you get up to the counter, and they're like, well, can I get you this generic instead?
Right, we don't carry, or yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm not like that kind of a consumer for medicine. I'm like, well, is it the same thing? Is it what and at one time I actually got into a conversation about the difference in the price. Well, if I give you the generic, it's only going to cost you your copay, but if you get this other one, you're going to have to pay that. And so I'm like, well, okay, give me the generic. But I didn't have a chance to talk to my doctor. I'm just talking to the pharmacist and not really understanding. So medicine can be complicated.
It can be.
Maybe what they need is like a sandwich board like they have at McDonald's and Knott's Berry Farm that says this ride is closed today. And so this medicine is, we don't have this one.
Except there are thousands of medications.
I know. Maybe we need an app. Maybe
well,
that's what
most of the, I know that I happen to go to CVS to buy, personal products, not pharmacy, but I know that they have an app. And they have you can use the app, I think, for prescriptions too. We just happen to have Kaiser and use Kaiser.
But I guess what I'm saying with this case or these cases, I don't feel like these people are being discriminated against. They're being inconvenienced, but I don't feel like they're being discriminated against in a way that is causing them grievous harm, that they should be able to get money from a lawsuit or that they should be able to force some sort of change in policy. I think the policy is there to try to be fair to everybody involved. And as long as they can still get their medicine somewhere, it doesn't, they got a little inconvenience, but, what's your inconvenience versus, forcing someone else to do something that goes against their beliefs?
So, I'm assuming because, the issue was birth control, that he was either a devout Catholic or a devout Mormon.
Yeah.
And, if he really feels like it goes against who he is, as his faith and his God and all of that.
Yeah.
You're asking somebody to make a moral choice that they just are not. They're just not comfortable making.
Yeah.
So with that, we're at the end of our show for today. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And have a great day, everyone. We will be back tomorrow.